moment I push go live, that your mic starts going off
It
like that.
just
Dude,
shoots out.
it knows it. Get the dust off of
You
it.
were just cutting in and out for that whole sentence. I don't know anything you just said.
Of course, the moment we start. How am I doing now?
Good so far.
Yeah, I
Since-
think you just need to get a new mic.
Yeah, I do need to get a new mic.
Kind of the consensus, and it has
God,
been
this
for a
mic is
while.
supposed to be nice. Yeah, I just want to spend the money on one.
Well,
I roll with my Christmas paycheck.
Yeah, is everyone ready to get this episode underway then?
Fuck yeah.
Suppose.
Alrighty. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Undercover Weebs anime podcast. And as soon as we start, Noah's mic starts malfunctioning
Classic
as
Noah.
usual.
Dude,
But
this thing is trying to sabotage me, I swear.
that's just how it goes. As usual, we have me, who's AK, and Noah, the other host, who's always here, and Shane, who's always here for the One Piece episodes. Our local One Piece expert, Shane.
Ooh, I don't know about expert.
On God,
Enjoyer.
on God.
Fellow One Piece enjoyer.
Yes. This episode,
Gets a PhD.
yeah. So last,
Bro.
oh
my.
oh Jesus, Noah, come on here.
Dude. All right, hold on. Nice.
Smack
Gotta
it.
hit it,
Use
yeah.
the good old military rule. Just like drop from
Yeah,
6
dude.
inches. If it's still broken, then you can throw it away.
Yeah.
So last time, on last episode of One Piece reviews, we did Whole Cake Island. I think that's what comes before the Reverie, right? It's been a while.
Yep.
And
They just escaped Whole Cake.
Yep, and now we're doing the Reverie, which is by far, I'm pretty sure by far, it's a very, very, very short arc.
Yeah, what is it, like 6 chapters?
It's 6 chapters, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they somehow managed to make that 12 episodes. I can't even imagine.
Are you
Oh,
surprised, dude?
The
Are you
pacing of
surprised?
that.
I
I'm not surprised.
was wondering what that was gonna be like when I was like rereading the arc. I was like, I wonder how bad the pacing in the anime, because I can only imagine, like, just like the couple of like the heartwarming scenes of like the reunions. I can just imagine like 30 seconds of just hugging, and that's it.
Yeah, I bet it was so spaced out. Well, and you know when they like cut to everybody and like explained how they knew the Straw Hats, that was like a couple minutes apiece.
Yeah, they probably spent a lot of time
Yeah.
on that. A full
Probably had a bit
episode
of flashbacks
for
to it.
each flashback segment
Oh
that
my
took
gosh.
less than a panel.
Dude, honestly, it was probably like close to that. It was probably like 2 or 3 people for a whole episode.
For real. Even though this is like the shortest arc, it is jam-packed full with lore that we still do not have answers to.
Yeah, this was like I feel like this is this is the first time he really dropped a huge lore bomb on us and just like shook it up completely. This is like the
So
big
much.
shakeup.
Other than maybe what's happening literally right now in One Piece,
Yeah.
this is the most amount of like pure information we got about the world and about what's going on. Actually, I don't even want to say information. It's more just like he's making you ask so many questions.
Yeah.
And he's not answering any of them.
Dude, he never does. He's starting to a little bit, but oh my gosh, man. He just keeps like adding to the questions we have. And I feel like that's what makes the world feel so alive, though. It's shit like the Reverie. Like, because we know all these characters like are doing stuff in the background, and then they all get together at the Reverie, and we're like, wow.
We get to see a lot of people that we hadn't thought of in probably a long time. But we can go over to them when we get to that section of this nice 6 chapter part. So this arc kind of kicks off with, as usual, the Straw Hats in between places and getting their new bounty stuff. showing off their new powers, whatnot. I know Sanji had his disappearing thingy. I don't know what it's called. The thing that he puts on his arm that makes him disappear.
Mhm.
That has a
Uh,
special
suit?
name. Yeah, the raid suit. There you go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, love the raid suit.
Nami showing off Zeus because Zeus tagged along because Big Mom replaced him, and he's afraid of Big Mom. And
Nami with a big upgrade.
yep,
Yeah.
Sanji gets a big upgrade in bounty, but at
Yeah.
320 million berries.
Gets
And
above Zoro.
yep.
Mhm.
And Luffy goes down in bounty. He goes down to 150 million, right?
Dude, that shit was so funny. Dude,
Yeah,
these in between arcs
Very
where they do the
fun.
bounties is one of my favorite parts of
they're
One Piece.
it's always
They're
so
the best.
Just the
so
big
interesting to
ass
see what the new
for everyone.
bounties are. But no, Luffy's bounty was not decreased. He just can't read, which is the least surprising thing I've ever heard about Luffy.
And he's just like bawling when he reads it, just crying.
He went up to 1.5 billion, which at that time in the story was the highest we know of after the Yonko, after all the Yonko, I think.
Yeah,
That way, yeah.
it was up there.
Because the rest of all the Yonko are in like 4 billion, and then Blackbeard. I don't know if we know Blackbeard's bounty at this time, but I think it was supposed to be around 2 billion.
Yeah, like 2,149,000,000 or
Somewhere
something.
in there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Luffy gets tagged the 5th Emperor, but only unofficially.
Yeah, unofficially dubbed the 5th Emperor. I thought when I first read that, I thought he was like an emperor.
So
like,
did I. I thought like the 4 Emperor thing was just out the window, and then there was just going to be another one, like
Mhm.
for example, the 5th Emperor, like it says in the thing, but it was not official enough. Big News Morgans did not have enough say, I guess.
Big News Morgans is the fucking man.
Big News Morgans also skewed
Love
the
Big News.
hell out of the story that he put in the news that Luffy like trashed the kingdom and beat up Big Mom and left. When
Yeah.
in reality, he just he had to run away.
He booked it
Right.
out of there, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if he would have stayed, he would have got absolutely bodied by Big Mom.
Yeah, he would have got mollywopped. It would have been a wrap. End of the story.
Put up a
So
good fight against Katakuri. I mean,
yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's how we got to the 1.5 million because Katakuri was at
Katakuri's a dog.
1.2.
I
So
love him.
after we get the classic One Piece or the classic Straw Hat bounty thing, we kind of the rest of the arc is more so like just hopping around to different places in the world, and they either react to Luffy, or B, it has something to do with the Revolutionary Army that is just like lore drop on lore drop.
Yeah, I thought that stuff with the Revolutionary Army was very like underwhelming. Like they didn't sell how like powerful and like influential they were in this arc. That was like the only gripe I have with the whole arc. I was like, the Revolutionary Army's fucking lame. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
they just kind of they showed the 4 commanders. So they showed Bello Betty, Morley, who is like the smallest giant ever.
Morley. Yeah, impel down. Let's go.
Then like Lindbergh, and who I think is the like the mole looking man. I don't know. He's just a small dude that has gadgets.
Oh, he's like the cat, right? The flying
Yeah, something
cat
like
dude.
that. And then Karasu, who is like
He's cool.
he's badass, but we know like nothing about this guy.
yeah.
Even now, dude just has like a plague mask on and has
Bald.
crows, and it makes no
Yeah, he's
sense.
sweet.
But he is badass as hell. I have no idea what Morley's power is though, because he has a power similar to. I feel like it's like a mix. Do we know what Morley's power is? Let me look.
Yeah, he can like dig and shape. They can like go on the ground and stuff. He's the one who made the tunnels and impel down.
Yeah, but what is his fruit power?
I guess we
do
don't.
know his name. Oh, it's the the Oshi
push
Oshi no
push
the push fruit. That's such a weird. I feel like it's more similar to like Pika's.
Yeah,
Pika
he
like
can.
Pika mixed with Senior Pink.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Because he can kind of make the
That's a very
ground
good
like
comparison.
he can kind of make the ground like liquid, and then like push it and move it around. So that's his power, and then
Dude, that
Bello
cutscene was
Betty's.
lame.
Yeah, the Bello Betty's is like her power is the pump fruit. She just pumps people up. Talk about a
Dude,
lame.
hers is sick.
No, I think it's so lame, bro.
No, dude, hers
I
could be OP as fuck, dude.
I
What if
don't
she
know.
pumped up Kaido, man? That's
Oh,
a
I
wrap.
fuck with it.
Yeah, but you got to think like if you got to be surrounded by people that can also be strong, right? Because like
True.
no
She's
matter
probably weak.
no matter how pumped up a bunch of random citizens are, it's not going to make much of a difference.
That's true.
Okay, but now a pumped up dragon.
Yeah, dude. I
True.
bet she hyped Dragon up.
But
Dude, I bet they hang out late night for sure. They got that 100%.
oh, most definitely.
You've always wanted
Dragon's a
Luffy,
dog.
with the outfit that she has, 100%.
huh?
But
Dude, I would get pretty
Did we
amped
get
up
the
and
Kobe
motivated
bit
for her.
already? Did we see our boy Kobe at this point already?
to
Or was
be
that in the
honest, I'm
hop
just
around?
kind of.
I fucking love my boy Kobe.
I'm just
That's
kind of
the biggest
hopping
thing.
around for this arc because it doesn't really have any specific order that things need to go in here.
Right, because a lot of it,
Yeah,
it was
not
just
really.
like nostalgia blast, meeting or going back to everybody that like the Straw Hats or Luffy has helped out, and then whoever was at the Reverie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who was at the Reverie? Shirahoshi,
So we get
Rebecca, Vivi,
Rebecca,
Wapple.
Shirahoshi, Wapple, and then Soccer Kingdom, Dalton, and
Oh yeah,
Kureha. And then we get to see
Oh, that's right.
Sai.
Completely forgot Kureha was there.
We get to see Sai.
Oh, Sai was there?
Yeah, and Sai is
Forgot about
married
him.
now to Baby 5, isn't he?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
my
Oh.
favorite shit. I love that.
That is a good one. Like
Good
in
for
their
Sai,
fight,
bro.
he's like, "I will marry you. I will love you forever." Dude, Sai's a dog.
What a goat.
But yeah, there's like a whole chapter that's literally reintroduction to characters that you already met. And we
That was wholesome. I
cannot,
like that.
we definitely cannot forget about Stelly.
The goat Stelly.
We get to see Stelly back again, and he is now the king of Goa Kingdom. Because Sabo died, even though he didn't die. He just got picked up by Dragon after, and his stepdad mysteriously passed away shortly after as well. So that led Stelly into power of the Goa Kingdom.
Stelly, that bitch. That bowl cut bitch.
When I was reading through, I read through this these 6 chapters again today, and Stelly really is the most similar in nature to Celestial Dragon of any other king.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion.
Oh yeah. Totally. Stelly sucks.
Which also made me think about the fact that he is adopted. So what if he, like, I just came up with this in my head out of nowhere. This could already probably be debunked. What if he was a Celestial Dragon before, and somehow the Goa Kingdom adopted him, and he just already has that inherent nature because he was a Celestial Dragon?
Because, that's what he really wants to be, is a Celestial Dragon. That's, like, his end goal.
Yeah.
So he might be trying to get it back.
Yeah, I mean, one of the first things he does...
He might not even know.
No, one of the first things he does is he confronts Garp to see if he has connections to get into, to be a Celestial Dragon, and then Garp's like,
"Yep,
nah, bro, that's not what you want to be."
Not me.
Yeah, dude, I love Garp's just rolling up like eating popcorn to Shirahoshi. Just a savage.
I love Garp.
Garp is beast mode. But we also
Garp,
had
strongest in the verse.
yeah. Before they made it there, though, we can't forget about talking about Kobe with
Kobe the GOAT.
Kobe and Helmeppo actually, because if you think
Yeah.
about it, Helmeppo actually, I just like I said, I just reread it. Helmeppo did way more on the way to the Reverie than Kobe did, because all Kobe did was knock something out of the way. Helmeppo fought a whole pirate crew on the Lelucia Kingdom ship.
Yeah.
Like,
Helmeppo's
we
a
are
gangster.
not giving Helmeppo enough credit.
Because he looks dumb and he's so
I was gonna
hateable.
say, but at
What do
the
you
end of the
mean
day,
he
who's
looks
better?
dumb? Bro looks sick now. He has that weird thing that so he can't see shit. Doesn't make any
Yeah, those
sense.
glasses. Those weird glasses. They make Helmeppo look like that, man, and they just glow Kobe the fuck up. Like,
Kobe got it.
he's a handsome man.
Yeah, and then they dropped some Kobe lore on the Rocky Port incident. And at that time, we really don't know what the Rocky Port incident is much.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what Kobe did at the... let me look up the Rocky Port incident.
Yeah, look that. Give me a little refresher.
Rocky Port incident.
You can't get me on Helmeppo. I will not.
An
I refuse.
incident that was perpetrated by Trafalgar Law during the 2-year time skip.
Oh,
Was that when he set the hearts?
Kobe protected the citizens and became a hero, and Blackbeard beat Ochoku, who is Wang Shi, I think, at Hachinosu, which is, I don't know. Either ways, he's a hero of something, and the only other person that's
He's
a hero
making
of
a name
anything
for himself.
is Garp, who's the hero of the Marines.
Dude, Colby's probably so strong, actually. Whenever he gets to, like, show off how strong he is, he's going to be just so OP.
I love him.
Hopefully that's
Good
soon
character.
here, because there is some stuff. Well, maybe it's like 20 chapters ago now that we last saw Kobe in the actual manga, but I was hoping to get something.
I feel like he could very well show up soon. Very well could.
I feel, well, yeah, I'm going to not spoil post Wano right now. Maybe at the end of the episode or something.
Yeah.
When we do our casual Wano breakdown after every episode.
Yeah, when we get derailed. I'm in.
Oh yeah. So we're kind of all over the place in terms of chronological orderness. But I know they ride up in like a bubble to the top of the red line, and after we're on top of the red line, we get some Fujitora and some Ryokugu, or some Green Bull. But
the new admiral.
Is this when he first got dropped?
Yeah, and Fujitora was not supposed to be there because he was not supposed to be on a marine. He was not supposed to be on a military ground until he brought Law and Straw Hat in. But he pulled the card, well, it's not military ground, it's Marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
So he went anyways.
I love it. Just loose logic to bullshit his way in there.
Right, dude. I do like Fujitora. He's an underrated character.
Fujitora is like the only marine that is not, or like the only admiral that is not just doing whatever he's told. Like, he's actually uses his own sense of justice, which is probably...
Him and Garp would be boys.
Yeah, it's probably extremely dangerous for the Marines that he does that.
Yeah.
But bro has a devil fruit that would literally could destroy the entire world. So people say that Blackbeard / Whitebeard, the Quake fruit, is the most, like, the fruit that could bring the world to ruin. But if I think about it, I'd say it's Fujitora.
Yeah, Fujitora is OP. It's just that Blackbeard combo, man.
I get what you're saying, but I mean, Quake fruit plus the world that Oda is built with how much water, tsunamis are gonna go crazy.
But
Yeah, true. It's like
but
all water.
but Fujitora has the capability to manipulate
I'm
gravitational
not saying
forces.
Fujitora isn't.
Bro can just
Yeah,
make earthquakes.
dude, he could just pull in a meteor.
Yeah,
Which makes no sense, but shit, he does it.
but he's blind, so he'd probably miss.
Dude's Madara of the One Piece verse.
Yeah, he's gonna drop a meteor on top of a meteor. So
Madara goat.
yeah, so they get up to the top. On their way up in the bubble, we also see that we have what's his face there. Sabo is in
Sabo.
his military. Well, he's not. He's like sneaking in, as are several other revolutionaries in various other ways, which is kind of
Yeah, this
confusing.
doesn't go very well for him.
No,
This
whole encounter that we don't figure out what happens until after Wano. But I don't quite understand how the revolutionaries get from where they were in this random town in the Lucia Kingdom
Mhm.
um to the Reverie in like instantaneously. Um but manga logic, anime logic, I
Manga
guess.
logic.
But
Oh, true. I guess they were. Yeah.
because they're all underneath, this is in like the last chapter, but it's kind of a side thing that's going on with
Yeah.
the
Whatever.
revolutionaries, but they're all like in a bubble that Morley made underneath the surface. They're trying to get Kuma back, who's being used
Mhm.
as a slave, which I
Yeah.
also forgot to point out that there are a bunch of slaves like moving around like things underground, like they
Oh yeah,
carry
Yeah.
the
just like with
tiles on their
the
back.
Who's the character that's like this place just doesn't seem right? Someone mentions that in the chapter. They're like, this place like is beautiful, but something
oh,
is just off about it. And then they cut to all the slaves like underground, like doing everything.
I can't remember
I
who
can't.
exactly it was. It was probably
yeah.
Shirahoshi.
It was. I feel like it was Shirahoshi or Rebecca or Vivi. It was one of those three. And then, dude, their meeting and when they just start like geeking out about Luffy is so wholesome. I love that part, dude. That is the best part. Oh,
Yeah, that was also one of the 6 chapters. Well, that was kind of the same chapter with the flashbacks, where it was like
yeah.
everyone there either loves or hates Luffy for various different
Mhm.
reasons.
Yep.
Most of them on the
Yeah.
love side,
I love
because
that part, man.
he saved Alabasta, he saved Fishman Island, he saves
Hmm.
Dressrosa, and he saved he saved Drum Kingdom. He saved a
Yep.
lot of places.
Hmm.
Bro gets
Yeah, dude.
around.
Luffy, dude. When at the end of the series, when Luffy goes back and like visits everybody or they visit him, that's gonna be so sad. I'm gonna cry so hard.
It's gonna be an arc of just the revisit. Homie's not gonna be
Yeah,
able to do it in just panels.
yeah. It's gonna be, and then you know he's gonna die at the end. And it's just gonna be
Oh
so
yeah,
brutal,
I.
so brutal.
You know what's gonna
Oh,
hit harder than anything though is when we see Laboon and Brooke.
And Brooke,
that's gonna
yeah.
be nice. That's gonna be nice.
That will be so utterly like I don't.
Fuck living to find out what the One Piece is. I just want to see that reunion.
Yeah, same.
I
Top
have
five thing I want to see.
absolutely no idea how he's gonna do it, but at the same time, I know it's just gonna hit hard.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh
just gonna
yeah.
hit unbelievably hard.
Man, that's just Oda. He can really make you feel for anything. A
Well,
stupid ship
it's
had me crying in the club.
bro. He's so it's just a build up, bro. I will say for this arc, he manages to put together so many different times, places, and things in the same arc in 6 chapters. He meshes it together so well
Yeah.
that I don't think any other mangaka could have done this kind of arc by bringing that all these things
in
together
this short of a
at
time
once.
too.
Yeah.
And he also does it in a way that isn't like Hunter, where it has like a million words where you feel like you're reading a novel. He does it in like his same style, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just exquisite. It's so well done.
Yeah. After they're done geeking about Luffy, though, Charlos is up here being a bitch.
Oh, God, oh, that asshole.
Trying to,
Took me a little bit, but yeah, fuck
yeah,
Charlos.
Charlos trying to kidnap Shirahoshi and make her a pet.
Yeah, that shit was whack, man. Charlo sucks. Who's the guy that stood up for her?
Um, it was Mioscard, another
Like the
celestial
good
dragon.
celestial dragon,
Yeah,
right?
it's Mioscard. He's the
Oh,
Yeah.
celestial dragon that in um so skip
Fishman.
back to Fishman Island where there was a flashback of
Mhm.
Fishman Island. He's the celestial dragon that or I don't remember her mom's name.
Yeah, I can't
Otohime.
think of it either.
Otohime like saved in Fishman Island. And now
Oh,
he's
that's
like
right. I
he
forgot that.
yeah, he was
Oh, that's
repaying
right.
right before King Neptune was about to just he literally gives like he's like gives the coldest line. He's like I don't care. I will go back to the bottom of the sea forever and is about to punch the shit out of Charlos and then Mioscard
Yeah.
smacks him instead. I
hmm
was that was such a good scene.
Yeah, that was a good scene. Oh, dude, I forgot that that's who that celestial dragon was. That was an awesome scene. Wow. I bet that guy's gonna come back. I bet a big part.
I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
he'll be the one celestial dragon that like somehow bridges that gap to humanity in some way
Yeah.
because he's the only one that is the way he is.
Shanks, bro. Shanks.
Shanks, no, I don't think so. I don't think he's. Actually, I do. After some other lore that has been dropped about where Shanks came from, I think
hmm
that he most likely is a celestial dragon.
It's looking like that. It's looking like that, but that's still very speculative.
It is very speculative, but we also have
That was a
another.
good moment. Damn, I kind of forgot about that moment.
That was
Wasn't
probably
Garp wasn't Garp on edge too though? So like Shirahoshi was gonna be fine. She was chilling.
no. I don't think Garp, because I think at this point Garp was with the other Marines, like in
Was he?
yeah, like Garp, because this is also the within the 6 chapters that they drop the the God Valley incident, isn't it?
Yep. Yep. This is
Yep.
when we first find out about rocks.
Because yeah, he
God,
brings
that was
up
awesome.
why
Awesome
he's
drop.
the hero of the Marines. Gosh,
That
there's
really like oh, that was a very big lore. That was probably the biggest one. Well, or right at the end.
It's up there,
It's
but
up there.
there's still
so
some other
much in
big
this
ones.
chapter, bro. God Valley, and
dude.
we'll talk. I
That
mean, there's another thing we'll talk about in a bit,
but God Valley. I mean, I made a whole YouTube video about God Valley itself. There's so
Yeah.
many people that made YouTube videos about rocks, about God Valley, about so much. Like we went. How many chapters? This is chapter 903 to 908, and
hmm
information about stuff that happened in the Reverie has happened, or like they've just released that within the last 2 months.
yeah, yeah,
So we waited like 3 years for
dude.
payoff. We
And that
waited
God Valley and
so
Rocks thing just
long.
oh my, oh, it's crazy. And he, like right now, currently, he's still dropping stuff. So then we're gonna have more. God, man, he's good at that. But I think that God Valley drop in the Reverie inspired so much lore in YouTube videos and like theories just out of that, probably more than any other drop done.
So
Because I mean,
it's
there was like, oh, it ties into everything. It's just great because so many big players are involved in that info drop. It's just crazy.
there's so much lore, and if we there's still the question. Well, we kind of got some of our things answered with Fujitora, where
Mhm.
like he was he was in a 3-year fast, and he said it's because no woman has asked him to eat.
Mhm.
That's just wild. We can kind of,
Fujitora.
if you think about it and we know what his powers are, we can kind of know how he can achieve that 3-year fast. But there were so many theories about this guy and him being Zoro's father and all this stuff, which technically I guess have not been debunked now that I think about
They
it.
haven't been debunked, but
Actually,
I don't know.
I take that back. I think Oda released in the SBS that Fujitora is not Zoro's father.
Yeah. Well, that one dude. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter here, but someone looks a lot like him.
Yeah, true.
A distant relative.
Yeah. And gosh, I don't even know. Since we're talking about Fujitora asked, or not Fujitora, Ryokugu asked Fujitora about Vegapunk, who says something about no longer needing the Warlords of the Sea, who we've also
Yep.
just got payoff for on
Yep.
why.
On
Yep.
what Vegapunk had created.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good little drop. I actually made the connection on that one too. I was like, oh, gotcha. That was that last chapter?
Last
What?
or two, it's been close.
Yeah, one of the last 2 chapters.
That you made the connection that that's the reason why they didn't need the Warlords?
No, in the current.
Yeah, but you just made that connection that's.
No, I actually made it when I was reading it. That was one that I made and didn't have to
Oh.
come to realization during one of these podcasts.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
Which
not
I
so.
like.
When I cannot. I don't want to ask this question because it's a spoiler question, and I can't remember at what point.
Should we do it in a non-spoiler way?
I'm trying to think of a way to formulate this question that is not a spoiler, but I can't think of a way. So, spoiler in the next 10 seconds, possibly. Is this when the war was it before or after this that the warlords were offed, or like that the warlords were said no more
Way
warlords? Because I can't remember.
way after. Way after,
It's
wasn't
after
it?
this, because right after this is Wano, and in Wano we're pretty cut off.
The biggest thing was it before Dressrosa was Dofi
Doflamingo
ever
was
a
still a
warlord?
warlord, yeah.
Okay, but I'm thinking, was that the thing that triggered them to like
I
finally
No,
think
say
you
that's
might
enough?
be right.
It got broken up after Wano, didn't it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Fully?
Yeah, I thought Luffy. Okay, shit.
I don't know when the can't remember when the warlords were abolished.
I want to say it was after Dressrosa and before Whole
I
Cake.
think it was. I think it
Sorry.
was in between. So
So.
I think we're safe there because I think it was the because they didn't replace.
Oh,
I can find it.
They replaced
I'm trying to think.
Crocodile. They replaced Crocodile with Buggy, or did they replace the Shadow guy with Buggy? Who did they replace?
It was. When was this? Okay,
No,
now
they
you got me
replaced-
thinking.
Did they replace Crocodile with Blackbeard, and then they replaced why can I not think of the fat Shadow guy's name? The guy from Thriller Bark. I'm so bad.
Gecko Moria.
Gecko Moria.
Gecko Moria. They replaced Gecko with
I thought it.
with Buggy. And
What, are you talking about when they disbanded them?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. When did they disband them?
I thought it was during or after Wano. It was not that long ago.
I cannot
And that's
remember, bro.
that's how Buggy took over. On accident, he kind of was getting bitched and then God, I love that chapter. That's a great chapter in recent memory. One of the best ones.
Since we're talking about the warlords, though, and we're talking about um, Doflamingo, we also get to see Doflamingo in Impel Down in the Reverie.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
And he drops the lore of there being a treasure in Merijua that he's afraid he's gonna get or he's not afraid, but he's like, he thinks the reason that they put him in solitary confinement on the 6th level of Impel Down is so someone doesn't assassinate him because he knows that information.
Do we think that it's a certain weapon?
I don't think so. I think it's I think it's something to do with the secret of everlasting life with
I was just
I mean,
humming.
we can twist and go there.
Emu's in this arc, bro. We get the Emu drop here.
I was gonna say that's the second drop where I'm like, holy shit, this just sparked so much more lore.
Yeah, because we gotta take a few steps back actually, because we gotta see.
Roll it back.
Stelly was looking at the nice stairs up to this chair with a bunch of swords, and the swords are the 20 swords from the 20 kingdoms. Each of them brought a sword, and then they went up to the red line, and they lived on top of the red line after they said no person is going to sit in this chair. This empty throne signifies it's run by all these government or all these kingdoms equally. And then Stelly is like, but I want to sit on top of that throne, because if I sit on that throne, I'll be king of the world. And then, like, a chapter and a half later, or no, this is at the very end, but with Doflamingo, we see some, like, hooded person carrying a picture of Luffy and Vivi, and then going down into a basement, into a freezer that has a straw hat in it. A giant straw hat.
A giant straw hat. Oh, that was such a good reveal. Because I mean, before we were like,
what the hell?
It's the Gorosei, you know? It's like the Gorosei, they're these overseeing figures. And then, no, there's just one.
What is the straw hat frozen for, though?
To preserve it. Yeah, what is going on there, dude? I don't know. Why does Eam look like that?
Why is it giant? And why
is Eam a Tontada? Shit, we don't know.
That could be. I personally am still partially under the belief that Rocks could be Eam, or somehow connected to Eam. Because he's the only other person in the series that wanted to become king of the world and not king of the pirates. Him and Stelly.
I know, and I feel like Eam, like...
Gotta remember Stelly now.
Guy, you can't forget about Stelly, bro.
Stelly's coming in.
Yeah, dude. Maybe Rox is just reincarnated in Stelly. Maybe
I have when the dissolution of the 7 warlord system was, and it's chapter 956, so it's going into Wano.
Shit, we spoiled them.
Into Wano. Okay.
We spoiled them.
That's actually a small spoiler. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of said that it's gonna happen.
It comes out of the Reverie, but
yeah. But we don't. At the same time, we have absolutely no idea what happens at the Reverie for the next, like, forever. We just don't know what happens.
I will also say a minor spoiler as well. This is the chapter that Morgan decks the dude in the face.
Yeah, dude. Big news. Morgan's is sick. He's a gangster. Top 20 strongest in the verse. Big news.
Well, he's. Oh, I can't say that. That's a spoiler. I was just about. I can't. Especially with
back
this.
To the Reverie. I've gotten us off track. Fuck.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good, man. Well, it's kind of hard to, like, because we know stuff now that we didn't know.
If we would have done this, if we would have done the Reverie 2 months ago, we would not even have a lot of this stuff to talk about, or like, to add on to. If you have made it to the Reverie, just catch up.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah, why are you? Why did you stop?
Why are you waiting for us at this point?
Yeah, Because I feel like, okay, so after the Reverie, like, it's a relatively slow burn until the Reverie. Shit just recently started absolutely hitting the fan when it comes to, like, power scaling and making big time moves. So, catch up, man. Wano's a trip.
Wano's a Wano's a long arc, but it is
Hmm.
every second. It's not one of those arcs that it's not like Dressrosa where a lot of it's like why you have this here. The whole arc is just solid good. A little bit at the end was a little stretching it, I think, but
Right, but I feel like the end, a lot of people's gripe with it is they tried to fit too much stuff in.
yeah,
Like they had like too many storylines, too much power scaling, too many fights going at once. So it's like it's a action-packed fast read, to be honest.
it is. There's the some of the best flashbacks in Wano, some of the best
Yep.
like deaths in Wano, which is crazy to say because like deaths don't happen. And now we're
Two
talking
of the
about
best
Wano
ones,
for
yeah.
we should go back to the Reverie
Reverie, hey.
because there's still actually a relatively large amount that we haven't talked about for the Reverie somehow. Like the fact that Jewelry Bonnie is there and she is
There's
somehow
another
somehow connected to the Sorbet Kingdom as well as Bartholomew Kuma, which we now know the reason for that.
and that actually people have been calling that forever.
People, well, yeah,
That
it was.
we saw that coming.
Yeah, that was a pretty known thing. But she's also trying to save Kuma. Did
I
we ever
wonder
get to the
why.
part where we said Eam is the one actually pulling the strings? I think we might have like jumped from one thing right past that.
Yeah, I think we just said, yeah, he's literally pulling the strings of the whole world. So
Yeah, and there's like a scene
Ian
with
is the king. He's the guy on the throne.
mm-hmm.
He's the fucking one that knocks on the One Piece verse.
the Gorosei
That's him.
kneel
He is the
down
danger.
before Eam.
Mm-hmm.
And then they say, who's the next light that should be extinguished from history? And
That's Eve is a psycho.
also,
He's a savage.
if you think about, remember, it's a spoiler, but remember the Lucia Kingdom because
Yes,
that is going to be
remember the Lucid
important.
Kingdom. That's a fucking jaw drop moment, kinda.
Yeah, I was
like, oh, he's like that. He's like that. Okay, all right, I see.
That is still questionable why something in the future happens, specifically with the Lucia Kingdom, but they were first brought up in this arc when Helmeppo saved their asses.
Yep. Well, Helmeppo, never mind. Not gonna say anything.
We also never brought up CP0's first appearance.
Let's go. I love CP0.
This is where we get to see that
a little bit.
Lucci is now in CP0 instead of CP9. I think Lucci is the only one that we get to see as part of CP0 at this point, and then the rest of them are masked.
Maybe. I mean, there's a masked character in CP0 that has kind of a rectangular long nose.
Yeah, that one's a pretty easy.
You can put a couple together, but
yeah.
Just think
you can put
real hard
two
about
together.
Think real hard about someone that had a rectangular long nose and is somehow in relation to Rob Lucci in the past. Really,
watch it actually be a different guy.
Really hard to put together there.
Usopp's brother.
Usopp's brother.
It's Soga King.
Yeah, Usopp's been getting around, dude.
I still need.
I
still need Soga King to have a payoff. There has to be a Sniper King somewhere.
Oh, there will be. That'll totally happen. That's like such Oda humor. Guarantee that happens.
What were you gonna say, Shane?
Yeah, there was one major thing that we haven't mentioned yet that I know of, or that I can think of, and that's the big Shanks. He pulled up for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
For the 5 panels.
Dude,
or
we would
however
have got
big it was.
we would have got fucking crucified if we would have forgotten that. I kind of forgot that happened here. I thought that happened
Yeah.
at a different spot. Yeah. Yeah.
He's come to warn the Gorosei about a certain man.
About a certain pirate. That was actually such a good reveal, though. Like Shanks just pulls up with the Gorosei. They just let him in. Dun dun dun. Why? We still don't know. But
That just shows that Shanks has way more pull than anyone.
Just an emperor.
yeah,
Like, dude
he is the most
just out
interesting
here.
character, man. Like, what the fuck is his goal?
Homie pulls up for like 5 panels and then leaves for 3, 4, 5 volumes and just pulls up arcs, honestly, not even volumes,
Yeah.
and just fucks shit up, leaves.
Yep. Just fuck shit up.
Because when was
dips.
the last time he pulled up? Fucking Paramount War?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Dude, every time
300
Oda brings
chapters
him
ago?
back, bro. Every time Oda brings him back, we're like, hello? Like in Wano, when we get a little flashback, a little something something about Shanks, we're like, what the fuck is this guy on, man?
Yeah, bro.
Jesus.
Shanks is
Like,
just
clashes with
built
Whitebeard,
different,
stops the
bro.
war, pulls up in the Reverie with the Gorosei. What the fuck? What is this dude on, man?
Dude's just
Pulls up,
fucking wild.
flexes, leaves.
Yep, dips out. Even in flashbacks, they're like, "Oh, you remember this certain thing? That's a certain thing that's gonna change the world. Certain thing, yeah."
Yeah, Shanks had
Took-
something to
took-
do with it.
Took that shit. Shanks is a savage.
Goddamn. Speaking of Shanks, have either of you guys seen the film Red movie?
No, I
not.
haven't.
It is phenomenal. It is actually super good. And I'm not one to say this, but usually when it comes to like movies that are anime movies based off of a manga that are like non-canon, I don't want them to be canon, but this one I actually want to be canon because it was actually so well fitting in the story and everything.
I thought Oda said that Uto was canon at the very
Yeah,
least. I don't know
yeah,
if the
Uta-
events
Uta
of the
is
story
canon.
was
If
canon.
Uta
but I
is
thought
canon,
Uto was.
then I'm all for it because that movie was phenomenal.
I thought Oda said Uto was canon too.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I don't know
wasn't
about
she-
the events of it, but I think at least her character is.
I would think the events of it would probably be because there's nothing in there then that is like absurdly wild. That like no one gets like super
Yeah.
insane power up. No one's like, and it cut and it ends in a way that makes sense in the story as well. Like it doesn't change
Mhm.
anything in the way that the story is.
Yeah, if it fits in between arcs, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I need to watch that.
It is so good.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
So, what else do we? I feel like we covered a lot. We got to be missing some stuff because this is absolutely filled to the brim with just lore drop.
What? When did we get the Sabo thing? That was way later, right?
Like that Sabo had done something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not for another
Okay, that's what I thought. I was
100
like,
chapters, maybe. I don't know. We don't
was
learn
the
it.
last panel the hat?
No, the last panel was them kneeling before, kneeling in front of the throne.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Man, that's gonna be interesting once we get some more reveals about this shit.
Yeah, dude, it's. Oh my goodness, the
Dude, we're
last.
low-key kind of in a Reverie arc right now.
Yeah, except for there's a little more fighting about to maybe start with Egghead, but
Mm.
I'm hoping it doesn't go into the fighting because I was hoping this arc would just be like kind of a non-fighting arc.
I don't think it's going to.
I'm hoping
It
that it.
definitely shouldn't be, with Luffy being able to negative diff anyone there. But
Right. And I think I feel like the whole last chapter, Luffy doing something and maybe transforming was just to show a certain character that I'm not going to mention what he's about, like what he can
Yeah,
do, you know?
yeah. That's pretty much.
I feel like that's the whole thing.
That's pretty
It
much
was
a
also some
consensus.
exposition there for it too.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's basically to like flabbergast a certain character. That's why Luffy's doing his thing. That's
And
what,
yeah,
at least what I'm
flabbergast a
thinking.
certain character and then drop some lore we've been waiting for since day one.
Dude, yeah, there's some good lore drops right now.
There's a
At least
Mr.
some shit's getting revealed.
Yeah, but the thing about when Oda reveals something is he reveals something in such a manner that you just like have more questions about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he never like answers in like whole answers. It's just like
No.
30-40% answers, and then the rest of that just spawns more questions.
Yeah. I feel like he's gonna struggle wrapping everything up because he's still spawning questions.
I honestly think there's gonna be a lot of stuff that he just doesn't answer straight out. Like we're like the series is gonna end, and we're just gonna have a lot, because like I feel like he really doesn't care that much about wrapping everything up in a like every single thing up in a bow. Like he's just gonna let the
Yeah.
world be a world that some things are still questioned and people can
Right.
still theorize about.
Exactly. I mean, that's the whole thing with One Piece is it has more theories than any other show because the world is so vast. So like if he left some of that like out in the open, that's fine. That is fine by me.
Like
There's like 10 key things we need though.
there is, yeah.
And then after that, whatever. Fuck it.
But like, will we ever find out if Crocodile was a woman? Probably not.
Yes. Yes. We better. We better. Gender bend crocodile. I'm here for it.
I honestly am kind of with that theory.
I am too, actually.
There has to be
totally-
because there is a connection between. I'm so bad with names.
Ivankov?
Yeah, Ivankov and Crocodile.
Well, I think that
We
would
don't know what
fit
it
his
is.
character. I think that would
I
like
think it would,
fit
too.
Crocodile's
I think it-
character.
I
Like
think
that's
they
why he's
solved
like,
it.
yeah, that's why he's like one of the most masculine characters in the show. Is because he's like trying to overcome a little something, you know.
A little overcompensation.
Yep, a little overcompensation action.
But
Smoke cigars, big jacked, scars on his face.
But is he
Maybe one
Luffy's
time he was a
mom?
baddie.
Is he Luffy's mom?
Maybe.
I don't know about that. I don't know if we're
Tough
going that
love.
far.
No, definitely not. Well, because you know Luffy's mom is gonna have a huge part to play in the story.
I don't think she's gonna come up at all.
Really?
I don't
think
even
she
think-
absolutely is.
I do
I-
not
I-
think she
Nah.
will be mentioned. Period. I don't think she'll. Come
I
up.
will be shocked, absolutely
We-
shocked if
we-
Luffy's mom is not tied into Shanks. I will be shocked.
That's all. That might be solid with the Shanks, but I got a meme call, and we mentioned her earlier. Bello Betty.
Dude, Bello
Betty
Could you
being
imagine?
Luffy's mom.
I would love a meme call like that though. That would actually be kind of funny.
She's in the Revolutionary Army. She's a commander.
Yeah, dude.
Dragon went wild.
Dragon
Luffy's-
just didn't know. He's like, shit.
Luffy's mom is Koala, bro.
Is it Koala like the same age as Luffy?
Yeah, I think she might be younger.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, Koala just immaculately conceived
Talk
Luffy.
about
Dragon's just a
was this
father
when we
figure.
was this when we
100%.
I think this is also the arc. Reverie might be the arc where we first figure out that Koala is in the Revolutionary Army. Because
Is
I
it?
don't know up until this point if we knew when Koala was in the Revolutionary Army.
on her wiki it says she made her reappearance during the Dressrosa arc, so it might have been that.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, with Sabo.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
You're right.
I had to look her up because I could not think of who the fuck you were talking about.
Dude,
Terrible with names too.
AK, one of our last podcasts, I didn't put together who Koala was for a long time, probably like a year after that, like Dressrosa. Like I literally did not put together the whole.
You didn't connect to the fact that she literally looks identical as she was in the Fishman Island, except for taller.
No, I forgot about it. Fishman Island is probably
that was
Fishman
the
Island is
one
probably
good.
the arc that I flew through and didn't pay attention to the most.
That
So
was
when I
the-
like reread it and stuff for our podcast, it like deepened my lore for One Piece. Because for some reason that arc I just fucking cruised through. There's
That
some
was
good shit in that arc, man.
the
Like
one
Shane, when you were
good.
saying that, you were right, bro.
telling
Yeah.
That to me, that was the
I was
one
on
good
shit.
part of Fishman Island was that flashback with Fisher Tiger. And you're telling
Dude,
me you
I-
didn't even remember it.
No. No, I literally like when I read Dressrosa, I was like, who the fuck is this koala bitch? Like, why is she being emphasized?
Why?
Who is this?
I'm saying Fisher Tiger has some parallel to Joy Boy as well. And
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I can
Man.
get on board with that.
God, this was such a good arc.
only six
Are we doing
chapters.
ratings finally?
I guess
Are we doing ratings for 6 chapters?
I think we've covered everything in this six chapters, but we got to rate the arc. It is officially a One Piece arc, right? So
I know, and it's I'm gonna go. I started going through every podcast and writing down what I gave each arc. But this one is like it's hard to rate because it's small but so good.
it's so different than every arc, really, because like usually every arc, at least if it has an info dump, it'll be at the end of the arc or it'll be at the
Right.
beginning of another arc.
Yeah.
But
Well, this arc
one,
especially.
all it is
By the
info
time the
dump.
series is over, bro, this arc is gonna be like a fucking 10 because of all the stuff that's gonna be foreshadowed in this arc is gonna just
Yeah.
be crazy. It already is some of the stuff that we're learning about now.
Damn, dude. I think I got to give this arc. It's crazy to say, but in terms of, you see, I feel like in terms of importance to the story, it's like an 11.5 out of 10. But in
Oh,
terms
yeah.
of how,
That's a great way to.
like, in terms of how much I enjoyed the arc in comparison to everything else, I would probably give it like an 8.6.
Yeah, I know it's hard and it's so short. It's like
Yeah, like you can't. It's almost hard to rate an arc like this because like it is so short and there's so much that happens and there's so much lore
because with every
drop.
big arc you have like gripes with it because there's just so much in there. But this is 6 chapters and they're damn near perfect. So it's like,
Yeah.
fuck, man, I'll probably give it a solid 9, like a 9 flat. Good, it's a good 9. Like when I read it, I loved it. Everything I'm finding out now makes it like a 10. So I don't know.
Okay.
9.
See,
9.0.
I was hovering around that 8 to 9 range with you guys too, but I think I'm gonna go like 8.5. I think
That's
with AK is distinguished of like storyline importance and actual like enjoyment purposes, like 2 completely different things. Because like enjoyment wise, yeah, I enjoyed it for like all the fill in, but like I feel like at the end of the series we're gonna come back and be like, holy shit,
it's
there's
kind of
this,
got
this.
it's definitely got that. Like is farther the more, especially now with the last stuff going on, like the more lore that's dropped each chapter from here on out, the more relevant the Reverie gets, and the more you appreciate that specific arc.
Yeah.
Plus, this like it also pulls together characters from literally every single arc up until this point.
This is a big culmination of characters.
Bro,
I just had a fucking theory that I need to write down before I forget it.
I'm just disappointed that Johnny and Yosaku didn't roll up from Kokoyashi Village as the kings of that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yet.
though, if
Next Reverie.
I will be so mad at Oda if he does not bring those 2 back. They're the forgotten Straw Hat members. They truly
love
are,
them, man.
bro.
I bet they come back.
Especially with what's happening with a certain guild.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I have a fucking theory to pitch you.
Oh my.
We can do it after the podcast is over.
Oh,
I
you're
just had
gonna
to write
leave.
it
I mean, we
down.
gave ratings.
Yeah, we gave our rating. You can pitch it now. I'm sure the people that made
Should
it
I
to the
do it on
end-
air so no one?
Yeah.
So no one
We're in the-
steals my theory. All right, you guys poke holes in the theory.
Okay.
So I always have so many theories that AK just pokes holes in. And I'm like, fuck, damn it.
Fair point.
All right, so I've always been thinking Shanks is somehow like, I feel like Shanks and Luffy's mom, they have some sort of connection. That's why Shanks has always like had a, he's always kind of been looking out for Luffy, and they got along so well. What if Luffy's mom is Shanks' sister? And this inherited will thing was passed down from Luffy's mom's side. And Shanks knew that and was like, like, my sister is going to change the world and all this. She dies. She has a kid, and Luffy.
I have one
I don't know, man.
major issue with that.
What's that issue?
I got
What's
a
that
thought
issue?
as
They
well.
haven't made a connection between Dragon and Shanks, man. We don't know. They might be boys.
They have not made a
Shanks
connection
might
between-
resent Dragon because Luffy's mom died.
We don't even know. For all we know, first of all, for all we know, Shanks and Dragon are literally just two parallel entities that have never crossed. Like they
Right,
don't need to
right.
be connected to each other.
But we don't know.
We don't
don't
know.
know.
You're not wrong. My second thought is your inherited will thing.
Not like an inherited will, but like the drive, the whole reason Shanks thinks like, fuck, I can't.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
like already connected to the D clan, and we already have
I was gonna
Monkey
say that.
D Garp. We have Monkey D
D
Dragon,
Dragon.
Monkey D Luffy.
And we don't know that Shanks is a
True.
part of the D clan, do we?
No, we don't.
That was my other big thing.
Do we know if the D is inherited through like?
Yeah.
But
Well,
That's the
we
biggest
don't-
thing about the D clan.
no.
isn't it?
But
No,
like,
no,
do we
no,
know
no,
if it's
no.
familial? We don't know if it's familial.
Well,
like,
in
like,
that instance, it's obviously passed down. But for like
I would
Law,
assume it'd be.
for like Law, maybe not. I don't know what his.
I was gonna say,
parents'
yeah. What
name
about
were.
like Law?
Saul.
Jaguar.
Saul? We don't know anything about that dude.
True.
I mean, this goes against your theory that you sent in the animation chat that we had a while ago that said it was the inherited wills through familials, wasn't it? Or no, it just said inherited wills through the D clan. My bad.
I
D
don't
clan-
think inherited will has any familial connection. I will say that, but I do think that
I don't
people will generally pass down the D if they already have it. If that makes sense. Like Trafalgar might have been the first D in his family, but I think it's also a higher likelihood that Trafalgar then has, when he names his child, it will have a D in it. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I feel like it has to be familiar. Otherwise, like I can just there can be like another fucking who was it? A Whitebeard son that can just claim to be part of the D clan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would make sense.
We got to
I don't feel like Oda would do that.
What do you guys think D means?
D nut.
Ha! Got him!
Got it. I don't know.
I think it means Dawn. I really do.
I'm probably in that same boat.
Dawn of the New World. It fits too well for it to not be.
Yeah. Do you think we're gonna get some pass drop soon?
Past drop.
Well, yeah, some pass drop about everything we just learned in the last like 5 chapters.
I thought we were going to
Like the
until
Void Century?
Yeah.
I really thought we were going to until a certain group of people showed up at that location, because now those people are kind of they opened up a different part that is not related to the Void Century, right? So like,
Yeah.
but we were so close to getting more Void Century information, and then we didn't get it.
Yeah. Cause they're in a weird spot. I don't know where they're gonna go. Like, cause they could drop a lot more info. I don't know. I do think that a certain
I think
Government.
with Egghead and Robin in the same proximity, they're going to give us that.
See, that's what I'm saying.
There's no
They
way
have
that you
to.
can't.
Right.
I'm
right.
just thinking. I'm thinking they get off the island fine. I think the I'm gonna try to say this in a non-spoiler
I know, that's
way.
what I've been trying to do too. It's hard.
The antagonist that is fighting currently is going to back off from orders of Sakazuki, and then, well, that just kind of spoiled things. But
Well,
he's gonna back off on those orders, and then they're gonna escape, and they're gonna go to Elbaf. Is my thoughts, and I think in between Elbaf and, or like when they're sailing to Elbaf, that's when we're gonna get some extra lore. Because we already have
that is when
established
he
that
like
they're not.
to lore drop is
Yeah.
in between islands. So
yeah.
We have already established that the antagonist is not supposed to be fighting right now.
Yeah.
we also know that the protagonist should not be fighting either. But
Yeah,
That is true.
That's true. Yeah, the protagonist would negative diff the fucking island right now. Like, it'd be a wrap.
I love Luffy.
I
Man.
do think though, AK, what you said about power scaling, I feel like it's kind of got a little fishy since Wano.
My thoughts are, so at
Because
Wano, everyone assumed the
Admirals
guy.
right now, where are they sitting
No, yeah.
with our protagonist? You know, like
So
our protagonist should low key neg diff, not low diff every admiral.
yeah, I kind of have a theory about power. Like, I have a way that power scaling makes more sense, but at the same time, I'll pitch that in a minute. But I think it doesn't. In Wano, everyone assumed that the guy that was like on the roof with Luffy and someone was the leader of CP0, right? Everyone
Mhm.
assumed that guy was the leader of CP0 because he seemed like he was the one that was kind of calling the shots there.
Yeah, yeah.
And dude gets one-shotted by
Yeah.
Kaido. And if
Mhm.
he's the leader and Luffy,
Yeah.
then how is Rob Lucci, who's not the leader of CP0, fighting against Luffy and not being one shot?
Because I don't think Luffy's trying, man. Obviously, Luffy would. Anybody on the island right now, it wouldn't even be a competition.
I really like the theory that he's just trying to like show off for Egghead though.
Yeah, that's totally. That's what I think it is. I think this whole thing is just
Yeah, it puts it in perspective a lot more. Like he's just, and it also just allows Oda to exposition that out and like actually give us concrete.
Mhm.
This is the
Yeah. So
what's happening.
my thoughts about the overall power scaling of One Piece though is that, so you think that Luffy pre time skip Alabasta was like way weaker than Luffy is now, right?
Mhm.
So my thoughts is that everyone is way closer to each other than we think, but everyone is so consistent in the way and how powerful they are that, like, it really is almost like obviously Devil Fruits will, like, if you have, it's not quite as big of like a Nen way that like someone's weakness is another one's strength. Like people,
Right.
like they're just right. Like we put like pre time skip Luffy down here and post time skip Luffy way up here, but
They should be closer.
I think they're like this.
Yeah.
And like it's not that big of a lift up, right? So that's why Crocodile, like, okay, we beat Crocodile in Alabasta, and okay, Luffy, instead of moving from here to beat Crocodile up here, he only moved like that, and like it's not that far, and Crocodile can also reach that. Like it's more about the consistency in the level that they can fight, and not as much
Right.
actually how strong they are against each other, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, I agree, and I think we do think too much on like bounties and like the status of characters as to how strong they are. But that is like kind of in the story, you know, like Oda doesn't have any upsets.
Yeah.
Like besides like when it comes to our main character. But like it'd be cool to see someone like I don't know, someone like a little bit lower status completely take out someone like higher than them because they have a good matchup. That would make things a little better. But I agree. I feel like people are a lot more even than we think.
I feel like it's just been so long and we've seen so many different things that we just think they're so far apart from each other when they're really not.
Yeah. Well, dude, fucking Mr. 3 almost basically soloed the Straw Hats, dude. Come on.
True.
Yeah.
Bro's a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Zoro's gonna chop his legs off, man. Goat. Zoro goat.
Well, shit. We have managed to make 6 chapters into an hour and 10 minutes. So I think,
Always impressive.
yeah, I think it might be time to call her quits on the Reverie episode. Everyone gave her a rating, right? I was 8.6. Noah was
I was 9.
9.
8.5 here.
Shane was 8.5. Damn, for such a short arc, it really makes a very large impact in the future.
Yeah.
Large implications.
Very much so. Well, we'll have to call that an episode right there. Hope you guys enjoyed we just ranted a lot. I'm not going to lie. We went on a lot of tangents. This arc connects to so many different things that you can't not do that.
Yeah, it
It's
really
very
does.
difficult, and our scatterbrains definitely can't.
And
handle it.
especially like where we're at in the current story, it lines up very well.
It
lines up
really
very
is
well to go
perfect.
on some tangents.
Hopefully we didn't have too many spoilers riddled in there. There were a few, but we tried our best to not do that, to not spoil.
We didn't spoil like the biggest parts
True.
that are going on.
Granted, you could probably figure it out based off of some of our insinuations, but don't think about it so hard. You won't get spoiled.
Fucking Applehead.
Yeah, bro. Einstein looking ass. Jimmy Neutron looking ass. Sheen with his fucking
Got a blast.
giant brain looking ass. Like, yeah. Oh, well. Let's call it an episode, though. It was a pleasure. Thanks for joining us again here, Shane.
It's always been good. Thanks for the invite.
Well,